My coworker refactored all of my code while I was in sick leave. Hello everyone. I've been employed as a Python backend developer for the last 6 months, working alongside my team on coding and maintaining the Python backend for our product. My coworker, who is both more experienced, having 3 years of seniority, and more dedicated, he is a self-confessed workaholic, takes on technical tasks and managerial duties. His main responsibility is maintaining the Java backend. Recently, I had to take a month's sick leave. When I returned, he told me that he made some changes to my code, like replacing JSON with data frames. Before I left, my codebase was efficient, functional, and accompanied by detailed documentation. I created it over 6 months, adjusting to evolving business and functional requirements. Upon reviewing the updates, I was shocked to find that all my code had been replaced. The structure was completely changed and I could not recognize any of the snippets. It seems my coworker had decided to rewrite everything while I was away. Objectively, I can see his code is likely an improvement. It's more modular, employs an object-oriented approach, and utilizes a model view controller repositories structure. My original structure was a bit more personalized, with packages named after their functional roles. Despite this, I am left feeling quite demoralized and am experiencing a strong sense of imposter syndrome. The thought of familiarizing myself with this new code is overwhelming. I would be interested to hear your thoughts on this situation. TLDR: after being away for a month, I returned to find my Python backend codebase entirely rewritten by a coworker. This has left me feeling demoralized and struggling with imposter syndrome. Any thoughts on this situation would be appreciated. This is easier said than done. But try not to take it personally. There is an advantage to having an existing solution to iterate on. Without your code as the building block, the refactored solution wouldn't exist either. This person now has the hindsight that you never had in building the first version. If you think this new version is better, try and learn from it and move on. Find your next big project. The reality is that it's not your code, it's the company's. Don't take it personally. 99% of developers think that 99% of other developers' code is crap. Discuss the changes with the other devs so you can both learn. But don't take it personally. Hey man, I've been at a few FAANG at one now companies these 15 years of my career. This can definitely happen, especially for newer engineers. But like others have said, don't take it personally. What I'd do is set up a meeting with this other engineer and ask him to walk you through the code. Ask questions, like why he made a specific change. Ask the benefits, pros and cons, etc. Be open-minded and tell him it's a learning mentoring meeting for your growth. If he's a worthwhile engineer and teammate, he won't hesitate to join the meeting. It is a failure from your technical lead, and a huge waste of resources. If you are turning in work and the feedback is total redo, the tech lead needs to actually put time into writing the story so it is explicit what the code should look like. Fundamental changes at code review is a red flag your team lead is not putting time into writing stories like they are getting paid to do. I have been in this situation before and man is it frustrating. There's really not much you can do or say, to be honest. But I definitely sympathize with you. It is not your code, it's companies. Don't take it personally. Learn what you can and move on. Being a junior dev working with a senior dev is learning to live with humility. In your case, I think you had a gift served up to you. You made this project yourself and got it functional within 6 months. That's great. You understood the task and you accomplished it and could be considered a SME on how it works. Now that you've come back, you can see how a senior would have performed the same task. Compare what the two of you did differently and try to understand why he did it the way he did. This guy just gave you a free education and didn't even ask for a thank you. Unless there was an issue or a change needed. That was a dick move. Some people are just not team players and they only want to see their approaches implemented. It is irrelevant if the code is better now. The teamwork has taken a blow. Your colleague should have talked to you and guide you through their approach instead of just change it in your absence. X200B. Edit. People says don't take it personally. I disagree. If you are a junior dev, you need mentors, not this. So yeah, my advice is take it personally and find a proper team with proper colleagues. Mayor, I stopped caring about that. As long as boss doesn't find out, I'm usually glad to have less exposure. Refactor his code in an act of revenge. Great. You can pick up all the maintenance work on these parts of the code. I'll start working on new features instead. Taking it personally would be a brutal mistake on your end. Especially considering you admit his code is better than yours and more importantly he presented what happened in a polite way. Boy, this is an opportunity. Try to learn. I know it is hard to swallow. Just ask him to go through the changes he made and why he made them and see it as a learning opportunity. I bet he did it because he's passionate about programming and thought it was fun. Don't feel demoralized. It's a chin up and carry on moment. The lesson to take away is that nothing is permanent. Every system you touch will become legacy and decommissioned someday. A lot of code written in the world never even makes it to production. A positive take on this is that it's a chance to learn a different way of solving the same problem. Maybe someday, if it hasn't happened already, you'll be the one making sweeping changes to someone else's efforts. That is a sucky. Don't take it personally. Engineers solve problems. He probably just saw some problems you didn't even see or think of. You did say this guy was much more experienced. I would take the time to learn the new code and ask questions about why it is better and try and use those practices in your own code. This happened to me once. But as I had moved to a new project, I wasn't fussed. However, one day I passed the coworker's screen and saw, well, I'm not exactly sure, maybe secret signals to aliens. Separately, someone else had noticed some odd behavior. The coworker had suffered a total mental breakdown and was writing total gobbledygook. He left the firm permanently for treatment. Needless to say, I was asked to reinstate my working code. Is it really an improvement though? 3 years of seniority and rewriting code he does not know seems to me like a wannabe ninja. I hope you will not find terrible bugs or flaws soon. Learn Java. Wait for his vacation. Real talk, people, refactoring code that you're intimately familiar with is fucking annoying. Deprecates all of your knowledge for marginal benefit. But this is the job. It won't be the last time everything you thought you knew was rewritten. At the very least you know what the code is supposed to do, as you know the high-level requirements. Next time you work in that part of the code base, you won't know exactly what it's doing. But you'll be more easily able to figure it out. Honestly, if he's not a dick, maybe ask him about the logic that went into refactoring it. You have an opportunity to learn a lot here.